सभी दोस्तों को सलाम नमस्कार और स्वागत है आपका फिर से करंट अफेयर्स एंड एमसीक्यूज टेस्ट जुलाई 2021 बाय स्टूडियो लेकर। जी हाँ, और हम आज के टॉपिक जो लेकर के आए हैं, द टॉपिक्स आर द डिलिमिटेशन कमीशन फॉर जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स एंड आरबीआई, कलर कोडेड एक्शन प्लान, यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड and section 22 of MHA 1955 exclusively for UPSC, BPSC, JPSC, UPPSC, MPPSC, SSC, EPFO, RRB, NTPSC, and for the further details you can join my Telegram channel. Here we should come here, Delimitation Commission for Jammu and Kashmir. Yes, the Delimitation Commission for Jammu and Kashmir was set up by the center in March last year, but got a year's extension this March in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. It means that March 2022 will be the next date. Again, it is led by the Justice retired Ranjana Prakash Desai and includes 2 other members. And as I have told, the delimitation will be conducted on the basis of 2011 census report and will be completed up to March 2022. This assumes significance. Why? Because the last delimitation exercise was conducted 26 years ago and in 1995, and that too was based on the census of 1981, and the number of seats here this time increased for legislative assembly is 7 for this delimitation commission. Apart from the demographic indicated in the census, the commission will also take into account practicality, geographical compatibility, topography, physical features, means of communication and convenience available. To do this, the commission had all taken into account the representation made by 290 groups comprising 800 people. 24 seats that are reserved for Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir would not be delimited in this process. This further makes the delimitation exercise relevant because some political parties argue that this freeze has created inequity for the Jammu region and a more practical representation plan is needed to accommodate citizens' actual aspirations as they exist on the ground today. The commission will also specify the number of seats to be reserved for the scheduled caste and the scheduled tribes communities in the Union Territory. This is important because despite having a sizable tribal population, no seat had ever been reserved in the past for the scheduled tribes in Jammu and Kashmir. As we know that, what is the tribal name very famous in Jammu and Kashmir? You are already known, perhaps all you know. That is the Bakarwal. A draft report will be prepared and put in the public domain for consensus and feedback. Only after the fresh comments, the final draft will be prepared. Current affairs here for some facts. In 1995, there were 12 districts, but now it is 20. The number of tahsils has gone up from 58 to 270. In 12 districts, constituency boundaries are extended beyond the district's limit. In Bihar, as we know that in a district, several constituencies are there and all are within the district. Not a single constituency is beyond the district limit. So, come on, this question, find out the correct statement regarding delimitation commission of Jammu and Kashmir. It is led by Justice retired Ranjana Prakash Desai and includes 2 other members. 24 seats that are reserved for Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir would also be delimited. Answer: only A, only B, both, none of the above. As we know that the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir would be reserved, would not be delimited here, would not be delimited. So answer B is wrong. Answer A is correct. 1 is the correct answer. Okay, 1 is the answer here. Next, cooperative banks and RBI. Cooperative banks, at first we should define cooperative bank. Cooperative banks in India are financial entities which are under the belonging of its own members, who are at the same time owners and customers, which has been registered under the State Cooperative Societies Act. It means in cooperative banks, owner and customers are the same. So which has been registered under the State Cooperative Societies Act. Also, these cooperative banks are regulated by Reserve Bank of India and two other acts, that is, governed by Banking Regulation Act 1949 and Banking Laws Act 1955. The Banking Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2020 was promulgated on June 26, 2020. It is the ordinance seeks to amend the Banking Regulation Act 1949, which regulates the functioning of banks and provides details on various aspects such as licensing, management, and operations of the bank. All urban and multi-state cooperative banks will be under the direct supervision of the RBI. This is the thing where the oppositions are critical about it, and when the monsoon session will start, this will be a bone of contention between the opposition and the ruling party. Next, till now, these banks come under dual regulation of RBI and the Registrar of Cooperative Societies. The role of Registrar of Cooperative Societies includes corporation, registration, management, audit, supervision of the board and liquidation. Till now ये ऐसा था, अब तो सीधा का सीधा RBI रेगुलेट करेगा. आइए कुछ और बातें जानें. There are 1,482 urban cooperative banks and 58 multi-state cooperative banks, having about 8.6 crore depositors and total saving deposits of 4.85 lakh crore. यानी कि जो cooperative banks, जो multi-state cooperative banks हैं और urban cooperative banks हैं, ये उनकी डिटेल्स यहाँ पर हैं. The rural cooperative banks will continue to remain under the dual regulation of RBI and Registrar of Cooperative Societies. जी हाँ, इसको ध्यान रखिएगा. एग्जाम में यही चीज आप लोगों को पूछ देगा कि रूरल कोऑपरेटिव बैंक क्या इसके एम्बिट में आएंगे. तो नहीं, रूरल कोऑपरेटिव बैंक को इससे अलग रखा गया है, सिर्फ अर्बन कोऑपरेटिव बैंक एंड मल्टी स्टेट कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स. द रूरल कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स फेस द सेम इशू ऑफ मिसगवर्नेंस, फ्रॉड लाइक अर्बन कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स. यानी कि अभी जो ये ऑर्डिनेंस लिया गया था, इन्हीं सब मुद्दों के पेश नजर लिया गया था कि बैंक्स फेस द सेम इशू, यानी मिसगवर्नेंस, फ्रॉड की वजह से ये ऑर्डिनेंस लाया गया है. आपको महाराष्ट्र और पंजाब का मामला समझ में आ गया होगा. जी हाँ, the primary functions of these cooperative banks is providing loans to small borrowers and small businesses, extending credit facilities like term loans and working capital loans, and giving advances against shares and debentures. ये 3 primary functions हैं. आइए नेक्स्ट, यानी कि अगर हम डिफरेंस करना चाहें नेशनल बैंक, नेशनलाइज्ड बैंक एंड कोऑपरेटिव बैंक, तो वो यहाँ पर देखें हम लोग. एंड द डिफरेंस बिटवीन नेशनलाइज्ड बैंक एंड द कोऑपरेटिव बैंक इज दैट फॉर्मर इज ऑपरेटेड एंड रेगुलेटेड बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. इन कंट्रास्ट, द कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स आर ऑपरेटेड एंड रेगुलेटेड बाय द इंडिविजुअल पर्सन एंड नॉट बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. यानी कोऑपरेटिव बैंक को कौन ऑपरेट और रेगुलेट कर रहा है? तो वो इंडिविजुअल पर्सन एंड नॉट बाय द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स आर प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक्स. Commercial banks mostly provide short-term finance to industry, trade, and commerce, including priority sectors like sports, etc. And cooperative bank usually cater to the credit needs for agriculturalists. That is for agriculturalists. So, which one of the statements are incorrect? The Banking Regulation Amendment Ordinance 2020 was promulgated on June 26, 2020. The ordinance seeks to amend the Banking Regulation Act 1949. All urban and multi-state cooperative banks will be under the direct supervision of the RBI. Only A, only B, both, and none of the above. Here is the statement is incorrect. Both the statements are correct. So, Here the answer is 4. Next. To deal with the possible third wave of COVID-19, the Delhi Disaster Management Authority passed a color-coded response action plan. Under it, curbs will be implemented in accordance with the severity of the situation. यानी जैसा सीवियर होगा, जैसा सिचुएशन सीवियर होगा, वैसा ही वहां पर इम्प्लीमेंट किया जाएगा क्या नाम बंदिशें लॉकडाउन के। तो आइए ये कौन सा कहा कि विच गवर्नमेंट हैज टेकन, सॉरी यहाँ पर कलर कोडेड होगा, स्पेलिंग हैज बीन मिस्टेकन, कलर कोडेड रेस्पॉन्स एक्शन प्लान, दैट इज केरल, दिल्ली, उत्तर प्रदेश, राजस्थान। आंसर इज दिल्ली। The Uniform Civil Code or UCC, it essentially refers to a common set of laws governing personal matters such as marriage, divorce, adoption, inheritance, and succession of all citizens of the country, irrespective of their religion. Currently, different laws regulate these aspects of adherence of different religions, and UCC is meant to do away with these inconsistent personal laws. These laws include the Hindu Marriage Act, Hindu Succession Act, Indian Christian Marriage Acts, Indian Divorce Act, Parsi Marriage Act, and Divorce Acts, etc. There are also Muslim personal laws, but they have not been codified and are based on Islamic texts. However, certain aspects of the texts are recognized through laws such as Shariat Application Act and Dissolution of Muslim Marriage Acts. In the news, why? The court's observation came while hearing a plea seeking the applicability of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955 in respect of the parties who belong to the Meena community in view of the exclusion under Section 2.2 of Hindu Marriage Act 1955. The application was decided by the family court and divorce petition was dismissed by holding that the provision of the MHA 1955 do not extend to the Meena community, which is a notified scheduled tribe. The man challenged the tribe court order dated 28 November 2020 in the High Court. The High Court allowed his appeal to challenge the trial court order and set aside trial court. Favoring the introduction of a uniform civil code, the Delhi High Court has said the Indian youth need not be forced to struggle with issues arising due to conflicts in various personal laws in relation to marriage and divorce. The modern Indian society is gradually becoming homogeneous. Let us come. What is the origin of a UCC? The origin of UCC dates back to the pre-independence era when the British government, in a report submitted in 1835, stressed the need of a uniformity in the codification of Indian law relating to claims, evidence, and contracts, and insisted that personal laws of Hindus and Muslims be kept outside such codification. So let's come to the question. Find out the correct statement. Tribal communities are excluded under Section 2.2 of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955. Uniform Civil Code is enshrined in Article 44 of our Constitution. Only A, only B, both and none of the above. Answer is both. Both are correct. And the 2.2 of HMA deals notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1, nothing contained in this act shall apply to the members of any scheduled tribe within the meaning of clause 25 of Article 366 of the Constitution unless the central government by notification in the official gazette otherwise directs. That's all my friends. आपको पसंद आए तो लाइक, शेयर और कमेंट कीजिएगा और सब्सक्राइब भी, साथ ही आप हमारे टेलीग्राम चैनल को ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं। धन्यवाद।